Do you ever wish that you could do something extraordinary? Do you ever feel like your life is just going through the motions and nothing really changes? Well, if so, then maybe it's time for you to start living in the moment. Maybe it's time for you to go out and explore the world around you. Maybe it's time for you to discover the magic of moon gazing. Hello, my name is Arthur. I am a writer and a traveler. I love to explore the world and share my adventures with others. Today, we are going on an adventure together. We are going to explore the world of moon gazing and discover the secrets of the moon. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is find a journal. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just find a blank journal and write down everything that you see, hear, smell, taste and touch when you are outside at night. Write down everything that you observe about the moon. How big is it? How bright is it? What color is it? Is it full or is it waning? Are there clouds in the sky or is it clear? Is the temperature cold or warm? Are the trees swaying in the wind or are they still? Are there animals around you? What kind of sounds can you hear? Can you hear crickets chirping or owls hooting? Can you hear the wind blowing through the trees or the waves crashing on the shore? Can you smell flowers blooming or grass growing? Can you taste the fresh air on your lips or the dew on your skin? Can you feel the soft grass beneath your feet or the rough bark of a tree? Write down everything that you experience when you are outside at night. The next thing that you need to do is go outside at night and sit in silence. Sit and listen to the sounds around you. Look up at the moon and let your mind wander. Think about all of the possibilities that are out there, think about all of the adventures that you could have. Think about all of the people that you could meet. Think about all of the things that you could learn. Think about all of the fun that you could have. Let your imagination run wild. When you come back home, take your journal and look back over what you wrote. See if you can find any patterns or connections. See if you can find any insights or revelations. See if you can find anything that you hadn't noticed before. This is your moon log and it is a record of your adventures under the moonlight. It is a way to track your progress and see how far you've come. It is a way to connect with the moon and all of its magic. I know this might sound crazy, but just give it a try. Give it a try for 1 week and see how you feel afterwards. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and the world around you. On the first day of my experiment, I went to a park near my house. It was a beautiful night. The moon was shining brightly in the sky and the stars were twinkling above me. I sat on a bench and closed my eyes and listened to the sounds around me. I could hear birds chirping in the trees, crickets chirping in the grass, and the wind blowing through the leaves. I could smell flowers blooming all around me and the fresh cut grass. I could taste the cool night air on my lips and feel the soft grass beneath my feet. I opened my eyes and looked up at the moon. It was a full moon tonight, and it was casting its silvery light over the park. I felt a sense of peace and tranquility come over me. I felt connected to the moon and all of its magic. I took out my journal and wrote down everything that I experienced that night. I wrote down the sounds that I heard, the smells that I smelled, the tastes that I tasted, and the feelings that I felt. I also wrote down my thoughts and any insights or revelations that I had. On the second day of my experiment, I went to a beach near my house. It was a clear night and the moon was shining brightly in the sky. I sat on the sand and closed my eyes and listened to the sounds around me. I could hear the waves crashing on the shore, seagulls crying overhead, and the wind blowing through the palm trees. I could smell the salty ocean air and the wet sand between my toes. I could taste the cool night air on my lips and feel the rough sand beneath my feet. I opened my eyes and looked up at the moon. It was a crescent moon tonight and it was casting its pale light over the beach. I felt a sense of wonder and awe come over me. I felt like I was on an endless journey and anything was possible. I took out my journal and wrote down everything that I experienced that night. I wrote down the sounds that I heard, the smells that I smelled, the tastes that I tasted, and the feelings that I felt. I also wrote down my thoughts and any insights or revelations that I had. On the third day of my experiment, I stayed home. It was a cloudy night, and the moon was nowhere to be seen, but I still went out into my backyard and sat on the grass. I closed my eyes and listened to the sounds around me. I could hear frogs croaking in the pond, crickets chirping in the grass, and the wind blowing through the trees. I could smell flowers blooming all around me, and the fresh rain on the ground. Day. I could taste the cool night air on my lips, and feel the soft grass beneath my feet. I opened my eyes and looked up at the sky. There was no moon to be seen, but I could still feel the magic of the night. I took out my journal and wrote down everything that I experienced that night. I wrote down the sounds that I heard, the smells that I smelled, the tastes that I tasted, and the feelings that I felt. I also wrote down my thoughts and any insights or revelations that I had. I continued my experiment. I began to notice patterns in the data that I was collecting. For example, I noticed that the sounds of nature were different depending on the weather. On clear nights, I could hear the sound of the wind more clearly. On cloudy nights, I could hear the sound of the rain more clearly. I also noticed that the smells of nature were different depending on the season. In the spring, I could smell the sweet scent of blooming flowers. In the summer, I could smell the fresh scent of cut grass. In the fall, I could smell the earthy scent of decaying leaves. And in the winter, I could smell the crisp scent of fresh snow. Another pattern that I noticed was that the feelings that I felt were different depending on the phase of the moon. On nights when the moon was full, I felt a sense of energy and excitement. On nights when the moon was waning, I felt a sense of calm and relaxation. I also noticed that the insights and revelations that I had were different depending on the phase of the moon. On nights when the moon was full, I had insights about my relationships. On nights when the moon was waning, I had insights about myself. By tracking these patterns, I was able to gain a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. I was able to see how my emotions and thoughts were affected by the moon and the natural world. I was able to use this knowledge to improve my life. For example, when I felt anxious or stressed, I would go outside and spend time in nature. When I needed energy or excitement, I would go outside and do something adventurous. I highly encourage you to try this experiment for yourself. You may be surprised at what you discover about yourself and the world around you. And who knows, you may even discover some magical adventures under the moonlight. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe so that you never miss out on any of my stories. Until next time, happy moon gazing!